All right. Hi, you guys. All six of you that are here. We are super excited. Seven? I can't count on the fly. Um, so excited to have you here. We are here to talk about Promethean's new Explain Everything app for their version 9 and version 9 premium panels. Okay. So my name is Lindsey Keeley. I am a teaching and learning consultant with Trafera. I am over here in Lafayette, Louisiana, just hanging out with you guys today. And we also have Kristin Dupuy. Kristin.
Hey, Kristin Dupuy. I'm about an hour and a half from Lindsey in Louisiana in Ascension Parish. And we're both former educators. We both do this for teachers because we know there's power in showing you about the tools you have.
So thanks for joining us. We have 45 minutes scheduled for this. We may not take the full time. Even if we don't, we're going to sit here until that time is up, the full 45 minutes, and you have to sit and watch us just be awkward for the last 10 minutes or so.
I
I'm
love
just
that.
kidding.
That's how we are anyway. Everything's awkward.
Just kidding. Okay, so we're going to start this off, and I'm going to start it off with a caveat. So we're talking about the Explain Everything Whiteboard app on the panel. There is an Explain Everything web version. It is called now Explain Everything Advanced. So with the web version of Explain Everything, it's going to be a little bit different. You're going to have an account to use it. The Explain Everything Whiteboard app, you don't have to have an account. It's just built into the panel. And with the free account that you get, you can build out 3 projects. You can collaborate with one person for 15 minutes. So you have that. And then there is a Promethean bundle that you can purchase. And with that Promethean bundle, you get unlimited projects, unlimited pages, and you can collaborate with that one person for 30 minutes. So I'm not talking about the web version. We're not talking about Explain Everything Advanced, but I will tell you, if you do get into that web version and create your free account and start playing, a lot of the tools that you'll see in the Whiteboard app are the same tools that you have with a little bit of differences. But just know we are talking about the Explain Everything Whiteboard app that rolled out on the V9 and V9 Premium panel. Now, if you have a V9 or V9 Premium panel, and you'll know because you actually have to sign into your panel every day, and if you hit your flame button or your 3 dots, it's going to say applications instead of locker. If you have that and you don't see that Explain Everything app, that means you need to update your panel. So remember, to do that, you would go into applications and you are going to look for the update app. Mine is on the last row, the last icon. You're going to look for that update app and you're going to update that panel. Okay. So version 9 panels have it. If you have an earlier version of the panel, like the titanium, it is not out for the titaniums. Okay. Now, Promethean is working on it. They are working on building this out so that it can roll back to those titaniums. Not sure of a timeline, not even sure if they're able to do this, but I will tell you, if it does roll back to those panels, it is going to come through with an update. So for your panels, if you have those, feel free to stick around and watch. But if you have them, check your updates and just keep your panels up to date, because when they push out things like that, it always comes through that update. So keep those panels up to date so you always have the latest and greatest things that come with it. Okay. So as we're going through, if you have questions, the chat is there. While I'm presenting, Kristin's going to be watching the chat. And then while she's presenting, I'll be watching the chat. Ask those questions. We're going to try and answer everything we can. And y'all just sit back and get ready to be excited with this. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is open up the Explain Everything whiteboard. And so you'll see I've got it open here. Now, first thing I'm going to do, because with this white background, it opens to that white screen. It's very, very bright. I'm going to change the background so it doesn't wash me out so much. So watch for a second. All I'm going to do is touch on this page, press and hold, and I'm going to get a little pop-up menu, like a little right-click menu. I'm going to say Edit Background. So in here, y'all, you have so many different background colors that you can choose from. That probably is hurting your eyeballs. So I'm just going to jump to this like darker gray, and I'm going to have this. I'm going to actually go here. So you can change your background color super easy through doing this. And this is just for this page. But notice underneath my colors, and if you don't see it, that zoom toolbar might be blocking it. You don't see the little lines and grids and stuff underneath, that's actually how you would change the background. So if I wanted lined paper, I could choose this. Now I know it's hard to see because I've got some, it's like a royal blue color line. I can also change that pattern color as well. So if I want those lines to look a little bit different, then I can change and pick a different color to change the line color. I'm just going to go with plain. I don't really need a grid background, and I'm going to say done. Okay, so let's talk the legacy whiteboard and the explain everything whiteboard. What I'm going to do, if you don't use this tool, the windowing tool that's on your panels, if you don't notice, I'm just going to change my pen color real quick. The little boxes down here on the bottom corner, that's how you split that screen. Remember, you can do it like with 2 Chromium windows. You can open it up at the same time and split the screen, or do Chromium in the whiteboard. I'm going to do this right now because I want to compare the legacy whiteboard, which is what we're calling the older, the whiteboard that was already there. The legacy is just a nicer way of saying it. So like I'm a legacy.
I think I like that. I'm gonna call myself a legacy.
That's what I am, Legacy Lindsey.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
that has a good feel to it.
I'm going to window this. I'm going to bring this one to the right so that this is here. Then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to open the legacy whiteboard. Okay, and it's full screen. So I'm going to pop this one to the left. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background color on this one too, just to make it darker so it's easier to see. And I'm going to slide my toolbar over so they're side by side. Okay. So you can window. Are you raising your hand? You have a question?
No, I have a microphone. I feel like I'm in a boom, like a boom is coming at me. So
Gotcha. Okay. So side by side, we're looking at it. Y'all, a lot of the same tools. So like your select tool, the arrow, and the legacy whiteboard, how you move things around and manipulated things, still there, but it's now the finger icon. Okay. You've got your pen, you've got your highlighter, you've got your colors, the eraser, all of that is still there. So these tools, you have those in the explain everything whiteboard. The bonus is you have more stuff. And so you'll notice like the background, the page background, I've already shown you how to do that. The charts and templates, we're going to talk to you about how you can do that in the new explain everything whiteboard and split screen. Okay. The other thing I want to mention is this new explain everything whiteboard. It's fantastic. The tools that you had, like the screen capture, if you pulled up a website and you wanted to take a picture of a PDF and drop it in the whiteboard, all of that still works. And with the update, you'll notice when you do a screen capture and try and open it in the whiteboard, it's going to say, okay, which whiteboard do you want to do? Explain everything or your the legacy whiteboard. So you can pick and choose which whiteboard. So if you're not comfortable yet with the explain everything whiteboard and you still want to hang out in here, it's okay. All right. But I'm done with the legacy whiteboard. I'm going to tell that to go away. So I'm going to click the X to close it. I'm going back full screen with my explain everything whiteboard. And we're going to start off talking about this window. So first thing we'll talk about is you have your toolbar. It's on over here on the left side. That's fine. And we're going to talk about all those tools. You've got a home icon in the top left. That home icon will take you to your home screen. So I'm just going to discard. We're going to start this over. Oh, you can pull in, you can do a blank canvas, which is what I started with, but they have templates built in here. So I'm just going to click on templates and just show you so many cute little templates in here. And you can pick and choose whichever one you want to do. There's different categories you can choose from. There's a lot in here. I'm just going to go to whiteboard and it's going to reopen my screen. So I'm going to change my background one more time real fast.
I love all those templates so much.
But I'm going to show you, yeah, I'm going to show you how you can add them once you're in here too as well. But yeah, like Kristin said, there's so many cute ones, like really and truly. Teachers are going to go crazy for that. Yeah. But you also have the option to open a file. And so Kristin's going to show you how to do that in a little bit. Just know that you can pull in files, things like your PWBs, the legacy whiteboard activities that you created and saved. You can open those in here. So you're not losing those, okay? And Kristin's going to tell you all about that. Now, bottom right side, I'm just going to write my name real quick. So I've got my green. Give me a second. Okay. I can write in here.
Ooh, I love that green on there.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
I'm ready for that.
Just like the whiteboard, you do still have an infinite canvas. And so if I come over here to that little arrow in the bottom left corner, That's how you zoom and pan on the page. And so I can go up and down and left and right, and I do still have the guide. However, what's different is notice over here, I now have pages. So you can have an infinite canvas on one page, or you can add multiple pages to this file, which love this. Okay. If I click the plus sign, it is just going to add another page, and it's going to be the white background. I'm going to go back to my black background just so you can see me. So you can add pages that way. But notice next to the pages, I have page 1 of 2, and there's an up arrow. I'm going to click on that. I've got my first page and my second page, so I can toggle back and forth between the pages there if I need to. But let's say I wanted to have my black background here, and then I wanted to add notebook paper. Don't laugh at me. I wanted to add notebook paper here. I can click this plus sign in the top left corner of this window, and that is going to pull up my templates. So I can go to the notebook paper. It's going to add another page in here. And so I've got all of these pages. The one thing I will tell you is if once you add this template, if I go to add another page from the main menu, so I'm going to just put that back. If I go to that plus sign here, it is going to add another notebook page. Once I select a template, it's just going to keep adding those pages. And so if I need to add 2 notebook pages and then another like blank page or whiteboard page, I'm going to do that page viewer and click here, and then just go back to my whiteboard and add the page that way. So built-in templates, easy to add. You can add pages. I've already got 5 pages in here that I could fill up with all kind of stuff. Okay, so any questions?
Edit them as well. Like talk about maybe take one of those out.
Oh yeah. Like I don't want this second page of this notebook page. I just select it here, trash can, remove it. Boom, easy peasy. Okay.
No limit on pages, Quentin.
What's that?
Limit on pages. No. I accidentally
I've not found it.
7.
Yeah,
so
I've had like 19. Yeah.
Thank
We
you.
haven't found a limit. All right. Next thing
They'll
we're
learn
gonna
they have to. They'll probably learn they need to with Kristin and Lindsey touch and stuff, but not yet.
I know. Okay, so I'm gonna get the select tool because remember that's how you zoom and pan. That's how you select things. Y'all, now with the select tool, instead of just like moving things around, resizing, you can still do all that. Now you can have some object edit options here. Okay, so I've got my text selected here. Notice the first option up at the top, that's your layering. That's how you can like relayer things on here, do like a picture and then slide text behind it with that layering field. It's not showing right now, but if I wanted to group things, I could group items together or ungroup them as well. The little lightning bolt is how you can flip it left and right or up and down if you need to. The little lock, y'all, this is huge. And this is kind of back to ActivInspire. If anybody in here had used ActivInspire, where if I'm building out activities on here and I've got text on the page and I've got certain things that I don't want them to move, but I want students to come up and do a sorting activity or something, you can lock things down so that the students can't move them and leave the things that they have to manipulate unlocked. So all you do here is when you click the lock, you've got different options. Locking the first one locks it completely down. Locking rotation stops it from being able to be rotated. Locking size locks the size, and then you can lock it horizontal or vertical. When you click lock, notice what's going to happen. I'm going to click it, set it, boop. Now I cannot select it. I can't move it. It's not doing anything. I have to actually unlock it in order to be able to move it and manipulate it again. Okay. Last thing, and I'm going to show you in here 2 things. You can take this and add a link to a page very, very easily. So if I wanted this to be a link, I'd click link, type in the website, and then when I click here, it's going to take me to that website, which is awesome. And it's going to open either in the whiteboard or it will open in Chromium. You get to pick whatever you need to do. And then this was something that was missing for sure from the legacy whiteboard, the ability to duplicate. So let's say I'm dealing with money and I pull in an image of a quarter. And I want my students to show me 85 cents. So I have a quarter and I've got some nickels and dimes. With duplicate, you can turn it on. And if I select duplicate, it's going to duplicate it out so that you have a copy. And I can duplicate this as many times as I need. So if I needed 15 of these, I could do that. Okay. Love duplicate. There's some other options in here. I'm just going to say clear all drawings. There we go. Your palm erase still works. So I'm erasing my text and I'm good to go. Okay. So, flashback. Just wanted to show you this is going away. I don't know what that was. Okay. So that's your select tool. That's how you move and manipulate. But now you've got that object edit menu that gives you some more options, which love, love, love. Okay. Your pen tool, highlighter tool, they're both still there. Notice though that you do have thickness and you do have more thickness options. It defaults to this first one, which is like super duper skinny. Not my favorite. So I always like to change my thickness. Okay. You can choose the pen or you can do a pencil style. And if you choose pencil, you can choose like what you want it to look like. I'm just going to leave it on pen. And then your colors. Y'all in the Legacy, you were stuck with 16 colors, I think. Notice here, I'm going to click on this black, click twice. I've got multiple colors here, but then OMG, I've got a plus sign. I've got the color wheel. So you can pick whatever color you want, like whatever color makes your little heart happy. Select it over here, do the slider, and then say done. And then there's my color. So once you do those colors, they're stuck here. I'm going to go back to this one, and I'm going to write. So lots of colors here. Same thing with the highlighter. You have your thicknesses, and you can do the same thing with the color. So yay. Jazz fingers because I'm happy. All right. Any questions? So far, so good?
Good so far.
All right.
Unless it's quiet.
I'm going to move up a little bit. And we're going to talk about the math tools. So same tools that you had in the Legacy Whiteboard. You've got a ruler. You've got that triangle thing, which I think is called a set square. I've never used in my life, so I never know that. And you've got a protractor. So I'm going to pop out the ruler first. Functions the same way as it did in the Legacy Whiteboard. You can move it. You can resize it. You can rotate it. It does have the degrees on it so that you can tell when it's in a straight line, which I do like. And listen, I cannot draw a straight line to save my life. Can't do it. However, with the ruler, if you take your pen and put it on the edge of this ruler, y'all, if you're looking at me and if you can see, like my arm is wiggling, okay? When I close it, boop, there's my straight line. So you can use the ruler to draw a straight line. It's super duper easy. Then let's talk protractor.
I hear the ruler measures things too, but we like straight lines.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess it does do that as well.
Yeah.
That's not what I need it for.
No,
Okay. Moving back up, I'm going to pop out the protractor. All right. Here's your protractor. I'm going to resize. Ooh. So you can make it real big if you need to. It also has the degrees on it. Pretend like this is straight, whatever. All right. So notice there's a menu at the bottom. In the Legacy protractor, there was a little circle. And if the circle was red, it did one thing. And if it was blue, it did something else. Well, that's all well and good, but I never could remember which was which. So this has a little icon so that you can tell when this is selected, this is what it's doing. So you can do the half, or you can do like a full protractor if you need it. New, maybe do it small again. Okay. Then you have options here. So the first option is if I want to draw an angle, I'm going to hit that. Then I can move this out the way. And there's my little angle. The middle option will give you a filled angle. And then the last option will give you where you can draw along the edge of the protractor. So those visuals really help you know what tool you're actually using for the protractor, which was kind of missing in the Legacy when it was just the color of the circle.
Yeah, and I think that makes it more usable for kids too. So like if you're doing a student lesson where they're measuring, that makes it to where they're not up there for 15 minutes going through the buttons.
Right. And then drawing and erasing for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I will tell you, your pen for the whiteboard, it's going to write. Like it is just a pen. This, even if you have your select tool selected, it's not going to select things. You have to use your finger. So just know that. But palm erase, again, does still work. You can erase the annotations that you do. But let's look at the eraser because you have a couple of options for your eraser. The first option is the little spiral. Okay. That first option, that's your erase through annotations. That's going to be anything that was written on the page, which is fine. Your second option, which has the little image icon, little mountain icon in the background, that is erasing your images. And that will actually, if you add images to the page and you erase, it's going to erase through them. I will tell you, it took me a little while to figure that out and a little bit of frustration until I realized, oh, that's what that means. So just know if you're erasing and you have a picture and you write on the picture and you're trying to erase just the text, you want to make sure that it's just on the annotations. Otherwise, it's going to erase through that image as well. All right. So far, so good. I don't see any questions in the chat. So I have spoken enough. I am turning it over to Kristin because she's going to show you, like she gets to show you the real fun stuff. I got to do like the little basic boring stuff, but Kristin's going to
Way to build it up.
I know.
God.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing. Boop.
All right, I'm grabbing
And
my
Kristin's going to share. Now listen, if there's technical difficulties, which there won't be, but just if there are, we're going to wing it, but we're good to go. All right.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Yeah, if you're familiar with Promethean, we're using ActivSync, which is how we're able to go back and forth. We have somehow made the ActivSync program angry. Like every now and then we tick people off and programs, but today we're getting along. All right, so like Lindsey said, she went through, we just take it for what it's worth and we can wing anything. But she did half the tools. I'm going to go through the bottom half that you see there, and I'm going to dig a little bit deeper with y'all into some of the new media tools we have. So Lindsey, she left us at, I'll also go ahead and put this disclaimer out there. If you know Lindsey, she is so smooth and fluid, and her muscle memory is like, it doesn't trip her up. The muscle memory on this girl with the legacy whiteboard is a real thing. So if you see me using my palm and it doesn't work, just please be patient and I'm gonna get there. But I'm not nearly as fluid as Lindsey. She's so good. So I am going to start with the fill tool because we have this little paint bucket here, and you can see that I have these colors. So you can fill images, fill shapes with colors. And of course, like Lindsey already showed y'all, you have that infinite color palette. I'm not going to go into that, but you absolutely can. But let's say, for instance, I'm wanting to draw a heart and I'm going to make it look like a heart. Earlier, it did not look like a heart. I'm not going to say what it looked like, but it wasn't a heart. But since I have all the pieces of it closed, notice I fill in the bottom. Now I can come here and use my finger and fill it. So that's a pretty cool thing. Again, do we have to have it to live? No, but it's fun. So you do have a fill tool. I will say, I'm going to go ahead and show y'all with this. I'm going to get into Clipart in a second, but there's some really cool clip art that I can pull in here. And you can also do these fill tools with that. And if this makes me a liar, yay, it worked. All right. So sometimes you can't see a gap in there.
Yeah.
You also have shapes. Okay. So I'm going to just be honest. When I saw shapes at first, I was like, oh, great. We have some squares. That's fun. But if you click where the arrow is, there's a lot of other shapes there. So we have our triangles, which we could draw with our ruler or just grab it. And of course, you can see the other things. Stars, I'm just going to tell you, I would never attempt to draw a star and make it look good. So I'm going to grab a star. When I grab it, I now can choose a color. So if I want it to be green with a yellow, you have options to make it be whatever color you want. It's pretty cool. Now when I use my finger, I can add stars all over my page. And of course, you'd want them to be, why is it not doing it? Let me go grab it again. I think I did something funny. Boop. All right, so there we go. So now with the tools that Lindsey showed us, like I could grab that image and duplicate it and do all the things I want with it. So there are some images there for teachers to grab, super easy. Before in the legacy, if we wanted shapes, we really had to like go to Chromium, grab it, snip it, drop it in. There was multiple steps. So they've embedded that, not even in the deep media tools. It's right there at your fingertips. I am going to go ahead. I'm going to pan down because we do have an infinite canvas still. So if you like that in the legacy, we still have it. We have a text box. All right. Now, this has been something that has been, I think, begged for a while. I have no problem writing things, but if I'm preparing a whiteboard, sometimes I just want things to look prettier or more polished. So I'm just inserting a whiteboard here. I am going to put hurricanes. Lindsey and I are both in Louisiana, and hurricanes are a real thing. It's just part of our world. So we decided we're going to have a pretend board about hurricanes. You might see on the bottom of your screen, I have some options. So I can add a border. I can change the text. I'm going to do the Frederica the Great, but there's a lot of other options. I also can make this be centered, and you can see, I'm not going to read that to you, but I can customize the font. Now, what I like is that once I have that font there, I can move it around. And y'all, this could be a word or a phrase or a paragraph, whatever you want. But I can take my two fingers and pinch it in or out. So if little Johnny in the back is like, I can't see. Yeah, you can, because I can make it big. And y'all, this, I think Lindsay did it again, but I'm going to do it again. It's really hard to get something straight on here. Two finger tap, boom, look at that. I'm not stressed. That wouldn't bother other people, but it bothers me so bad. All right, so we have the text. We're going to do the snipping tool after a while. We forgot to do that earlier. We're going to have to make sure to do the snipping tool. We have a laser, which I don't get that excited about lasers, but if I had kids coming up to this board to do stuff, I think Lindsay probably does. You do pull the laser up.
I'm easily entertained.
But I do have a laser, but if I have kids that are coming up to this board, they can come up here, choose whatever laser they want. It could be a finger, or arrow, whatever, and that would be what they're using whenever they're on the laser. So I'm going to go back to my hand tool. We also have, which is probably my favorite thing, is the undo redo, because my body sometimes works faster than my brains. And so I'll write something and it's like, no, that's not what I want. And I can hit the undo button and it'll undo it or redo it. So that is very much something we would never want them to take away. Let me go ahead. I think I'm going to go ahead and jump into the media tools, Lindsay.
Yes,
you think?
do it,
All
do it.
There's a few more buttons here, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But y'all, right here, that's the saddest arrow I've ever drawn in my life. I should have used the clipboard. So this little buddy right there it looks like the legacy. That's one of the few little graphics that they kept. So whenever I click that, y'all, this is money right here. We have so many things. And we were on the legacy, we were making all this happen, but it was like 2 and 3 steps. So we'd have to leave the application and go into another window. Now they embedded it very nicely in here, which I would say a lot of the competing panels do that. Or what was that word I just made up?
No.
I can't wait to hear what Josh is going to say about that. A lot of the competing panels do have this media baked in. Now we have it here. So I'm going to just jump into this insert file because I have my Cloud Connect here. You can see my Google Drive is here. I'm going to click on it. And because I'm so organized, wink, wink, did it go away? Just what I wanted it to do. Because I'm so organized, I have a folder in here called PWBs and PDFs. And that's the things I want to pull on my panel. So I already know that I have a graphic organizer here. Just know that anything I have in my drive, it will pull it in. So I'm going to grab this cause and effect graphic organizer. Before, I had to go screen capture and drop it. It was not this easy. Now, notice there's a bunch of, gosh, this makes me dizzy when I look at it. It's a bunch of like tic-tac-toe. It looks like Vans, the shoes. It's got that little pattern. And this is like the editing background you can use. So it's an image editor is what it is. But this is only a single page document. If I was pulling in multiple pages, it would right here ask me, do you want to put it on separate slides? Do you want to put it vertically stacked, horizontally in a row? So you do have the option, teachers have the options to bring in multiple page documents. This is only one, so I'm going to hit done. It drops it in. All right, so now I have my little graphic organizer. It still works like the legacy where I can still write things on here. So cause, rain, effect, flood. We know all too much about that down here. I think that's really everywhere. But since it's on the image, just like in our legacy whiteboard, it moves around. It gets small with it. It gets big with it. And then I can do my 2-finger tap and do all the business. So love that I can bring in an image. Okay, the next thing on here, moving on down. If I get going too fast, just stop me, Lindsay. Sticky notes are good and fine, but you know what a sticky note is. It's just going to put a block on there, and then you can add to it. Clipart. Ooh, I don't want to be like a little teeny boppy girl that's excited about Clipart like on your phone, but you know, like we all about.
Teachers love Clipart.
Oh my gosh. So look, we have all of these. Look at these doodles. I know that there was something that we developed recently, and we use these letters. So like, let's just say I want to do HELL. I tried to pick a small word, but I guess it wasn't.
Could have just done hi.
I could have just done hi. You're so smart. That's why you're my friend. I don't even know. Oh. he, right there. So we have a block letter of he. I can again feel it, but the clip art is super fun, and it's not. I'm so embarrassed right now. It never fails. I also have some people shapes. I taught middle school, and this was the basic face that middle schoolers made. I also have 3 teenage boys. Let's find their face. I hate to use the devil one. There, they have no emotion right here. Okay, so we have all this fun clip art. Take it for what it's worth. Pretend that everything just went perfectly fine. It was good. Okay, so that's clip art. Something that is really worth spending a minute on is this new browser. I just realized I didn't grab my camera. Without leaving this window, I have a browser. So if if we're learning about hurricanes and maybe there's a conversation that opens up, which it always does. I think I'm talking about topic A, and then I've got somebody over here that brings up topic Z, and we spiral. It doesn't matter because I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. I can search things directly on my whiteboard. So I can go in here and totally type in whatever category I'm searching, and I have that image, the browser, it's floating on my screen. Okay. I'm not going to go into that, but it is exactly what it does. I can easily delete it because it's an image. I'm just tapping and delete it. Okay. Next thing on here is picture and video. So the Promethean really speaks nicely with plug and play cameras. We use them all the time. You can plug your computer or camera in, and the words are really getting to me. Your panel will say, hey, you've got a camera. Since I don't have one, it's not going to come up, but you can see it says no camera detected. If I had my camera plugged in, it would just come up and I could take pictures of anything and it drops it directly on my screen. Or if I just want to model something, which was a big thing for me, I would do a lot of modeling and writing and annotating. You can do that all in your whiteboard space. Same thing with a video. Okay, let me get to some blank space down here because I'm about to blow your minds. I need to have this. I told y'all my muscle memory wasn't as good as Lindsay's. Okay, new equation. Now, I'm just going to start this by saying I taught middle school English language arts. I was a 1st through 8th grade teacher, really just middle school and high school. So this math stuff breaks my brain, but I hear it's good. It's good stuff. So if I go to new equation, look at that calculator with all those symbols that I don't know what they mean. I really know this side, the 7, 8, 9. I can do that. But we do have some cosine, tangent stuff. I recognize square root, but y'all, it's super great because watch what I can do. I can do 2, and I want to put a fraction, and 1/2, and this isn't very impressive right now, but it will, and 1/2 plus, nope, I don't want it there, plus 7, just plus 7, okay, equal. Now, whenever I come off of it, it now just becomes a part of my canvas. And of course, like the more complex the math, the more you can do. It's an image, so I can make it larger. Now I'm about to show you some magic. I am going to take this image, and I'm apparently going to make it go wonky before I do anything else. There, that's what I'm looking for. I can take this image and I can duplicate it. So now I have 2 of them, okay? I'm going to make it, we're going to pretend that is right because I'm in a hurry now. Have 2 of these up here, but just like the legacy whiteboard, I can write on here and solve it. So if I want 2 students to come up to the board, this little button right here, I'm holding on. This button right here, I don't really know what that's supposed to be, just screen, I think.
Just your view.
The view button, thank you, a wise one. When I hit the split, you are, I don't mean that sarcastically. That sounded ugly. You are wise, Lindsay. I can hit the split mode, and of course there's some more options here where I can customize it. But y'all, this is where your legacy whiteboard teachers are going to feel comfortable because now you have 2 screens you just established. Kids can come up here, and y'all, I'm not going to pretend to have this right because I'm just not. But they could do, can I do 2 things at one time?
Yeah.
But I can't in my head. Like I was trying to do it with my hand.
Yeah, no.
But notice I have 2 different colors. The kids have their own canvas. Also, they cannot erase what you've put in there with that math equation. So I really do love that.
Yay for split screen.
Yay for split screen. I don't know what I did. X. Oh, I got to get out of it. Okay. So I'm going to go back into my standard screen. And let's see what I've not told y'all about. Y'all, the bottom part of this, the Unsplash and placeholders. Unsplash is just going to give you a bank of images. Placeholder, if you have a teacher that wants to prepare something early and remember that, hey, I want to go do a Google search, they can do a placeholder for that Google search. But y'all, the Google Images in YouTube is just as magical as this new browser because it pulls stuff directly on the canvas without having to leave. So I'm just going to search hurricanes for kids. In Louisiana, you have to say for kids. And I can grab an image. And without leaving it, I have this image here. Now I know my page looks a mess, but if I'm on my hurricanes piece, I have that and I can do what I want with it. Super, super cool. It's sticking to this page. So if I go to a new page, it will be a blank canvas. And then lastly on here, you can do a YouTube search. So I'm going to do the same exact search, hurricanes for, don't you love a swipe text board?
Mm-hmm.
And I can bring in a YouTube video. So y'all, the big difference in this whiteboard space compared to the legacy is really going to be this media rich content that we can bring in without leaving. It is magical. While there might be a learning curve, because obviously there is, I've been playing with this heavily, making lessons. It's got so much in there that it's really even hard to just go through it in the 45 minutes. Okay, last thing I'm going to talk about is, let's do the cutout. I didn't talk about this earlier. So I need that to go away so I'm not reminded of what I did. I'm just going to move it over. Okay, pretend I'm hitting all the right buttons. Y'all are doing so good. Okay, so let's say that I want to have a cutout. The cutout basically is exactly what it says. I can have this up here, and I can have kids come up here. If I had rain equals flood, and I just want them to snip something. So if they needed to match or I had an activity, this snipping tool with the scissors allows for that. So if I say, okay, I need you to go find the cause of a flood, they could come over here and it cut it out and made a copy. Okay, so so good. I can even say one of the effects could be roof damage. And then ask, hey, what can wind do? And the kids come over here, snip it, and grab it over. So the snipping tool is great for interactivity. And then now I'm going to talk about the 3 dots, Lindsay, unless you thought of something that I overlooked.
Well, the only thing I want to say is you'll notice from the legacy that the charts and templates that were built into the legacy whiteboard is not in here. But because you have that Google image search, it doesn't matter because you can just pull up if I need a Venn diagram or a KWL chart or whatever. I just do there and you have like a ton of options to choose from as opposed to just the one that was offered there. So Google image search kind of replaces that charts and templates.
And honestly, whenever teachers are using the same templates over, they're probably going to have a bank of them anyway. But just as fast as I could get it from that legacy whiteboard, I just pulled it up super fast. Okay, so on the legacy whiteboard, you have 3 dots. Those 3 dots are really where all the saving and the opening happen. So that's what I want to show you last. So on here, there are just a few things that we really want to make sure users know. New is how you create a new board. So if I'm in a whiteboard or an explain file, whatever you want to call it, it's an explain board really, and I want it to go away, I would hit new, and then it would say, do you want to save it or discard it? So that is how you get a brand new blank slate. Open is how you get one that you already have. Edit background, we don't fool with too much because you do that like Lindsay did with holding long press and you can select it all. Save will allow you to save this as an explain file. Notice it's .explain. So it has to open on a whiteboard, a panel whiteboard in the Explain Everything app. If you have your Google Drive connected, that's where the magic is. I could save it to my Google Drive and send it to Lindsay or just open it up later. The other thing on the 3 dots that is worth mentioning is the export. As teachers, we want to send stuff to our kids. If I just created something magical, which obviously I didn't, but if it was magical and I wanted my kids to have it, I could export this as a PDF or an image and shoot that out through my LMS. There's still some little things happening with the whiteboard where it's not exactly like the legacy, which is, it's fine. They're different animals. But if you are trying to screenshot something, just know it's going to do a screenshot. If you want something that's large, zoom out and then capture it. And it will do all of the pages. They just are separate files. When you get really comfortable with your new Explain Whiteboard app, you can go into settings and change some things there. We are not getting into that today, but there could be things there you love. And I want to show you a new one, and then we're gonna turn it over to finish this up. We got 5 minutes, so I'm gonna do new. No, I don't want to save it, so I'm gonna say discard. It's gonna give me a blank white one. I'm gonna disappear for a second, but I want to show you how these can be created in advance and brought in. So I have a capture the flag. This is a panel whiteboard file. I made it on my old legacy whiteboard. I don't think I did that right. Hold on. Capture the flag. It's a very intricate thing. I took some time to make, and I know I don't want to remake it, but I love that I can still bring it in here. It's doing its magic. It's a large file. And so just like that, there it is. So even though I made it in the legacy, I still have all of those drag features and can do what I want with it. So you can bring things in and you can save things to have later. All right, guys. So I'm gonna leave the whiteboard to kind of just go into our closing remarks. We're gonna give you a minute to ask questions.
I've been watching the chat. It's quiet.
I know. Either we're really good or they're like, just get through it, girl. Okay, so y'all, if you don't know, Lindsey and I are TLCs, or if you came in late, there's a group of us. We do all of the Trafera professional development from the on-demand library that we have available to our customers, where you can go do courses, sign up for courses, learn about all things Promethean, Google. We have some great stuff in there. We also do live virtual PD, which looks a little bit like this depending on the course. And obviously we do on-site PD. So we are the girls that would do IFP stuff, and we have a great team of teachers that work together on stuff like this.
Okay. And so we also have, as customers, Bridget, great question. She said, can I create from computer instead of panel? You can create in the Explain Everything Advanced, the web version of it. Just remember, you just get 3 projects in that free version, but you can create a project in there, download it and add it to your drive or your OneDrive, and then easily come into your Explain Everything whiteboard, go to open it up, and it will open up in the whiteboard app with whatever you have in there ready to go. So you can actually do that. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Okay. So our customers have access to the on-demand Trafera PD, which Kristin talked about, which has all of our courses. So we do have the Getting Started with the Promethean, either version 9 or version 9 Premium. We just recorded a teaching with Promethean that kind of goes through the SAMR model and how to use your panel and the different levels of the SAMR model. That will be coming out soon. We have our Trails digital library, which has over 700 lessons on tech integration. Y'all, these are fabulous lessons. That's all free to our customers. And then we do WhatsApp Wednesdays, which anybody can sign up for this. And every other Wednesday, we send out tech tips from one of our TLCs. And y'all, our team is fabulous. I love our team. And so it's on, we have some Promethean stuff. We have AI. We have all kind of different topics. And those just go to your inbox. Okay. And Kristin's going to talk about these.
Yeah, we also do, we host webinars regularly. These are a couple upcoming ones. We have one with Holly Clark coming to talk with Anna about best Google practices for AI integration. That ought to be a good one. And then we have the great Eric Kirks, who I really love. He's a great, he knows a lot. So he's also going to be with us on May 8th. Additionally, if you are here today, because I know we have a lot of people that are still in school, or, you know, it's hard to get to a 3:30 session and they couldn't make it today. We are doing 2 more of these Explain Everything webinars. So if you go to our trafera.com/events, and I think you have to go to Promethean, not webinars, you will access those calendar links. And then lastly, y'all, I'm gonna have to get super physical with it. Why is it not going? It said, I'm done. We're done.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, there it was. I was giving up. So thank you for joining us. There is my and Lindsey's email address. If you need anything or questions about Explain Everything, we absolutely would be more than more than willing. Yeah, it's definitely time to stop. More than willing to help out, get you rolling. I'm so sorry, Lindsey.
I love you. All right, so we'll break up for a few minutes. If you have any questions, put them in the chat, and we will be more than happy and more than willing to answer those questions for you.
You did that so well. I should have just let you do it from the get-go. I'm gonna mute myself. Maybe.
All right, y'all. Thank you. I'm watching the participants go down. So thanks for joining us, and reach out to us if you have any questions.
Thank you very much.